What's up, my dudes? It's Demi, and today we are at Epcot because we are going to be dining at the San Angel Inn. This is the restaurant that is inside of the pyramid in Mexico, where you can watch the Three Caballeros ride float on by. I did an entire dining review of La Hacienda de San Angel restaurant, which is the restaurant on the water in Mexico where you can get some fireworks views, and I will link that video for you here and put it in the description box below. But today we're heading into the pyramid. This is actually my first time dining here, so I'm super excited to finally check this off of my Disney bucket list. So let's get in there, let's do San Angel Inn inside of the pyramid, and let's go get into some hijinks. Reservations are required for San Angel Inn. You can check if there is a walk-up list the day you're here if you don't have a reservation. The restaurant is located all the way at the back of the pyramid, and yes, it is always nighttime in here. Oh look, mariachi band is playing. When you come into the pyramid, make sure to stay to your right for the San Angel Inn. And here we are. Here is the restaurant. It's all open, and even though it's like very small, there's a lot of tables. They really kind of squish us all together. I'm gonna have to be speaking very, very quietly so I don't disturb my neighbors. I mean, I usually do anyway, but like even more so here. It's just everybody can hear everything and everybody's whispering, but it is really beautiful. And if you are lucky enough, you may get a table by the water where you can see the Three Caballeros ride floating on by. I did not get this table today, but I did get a waterside table over in Disneyland at Blue Bayou where you are eating and Pirates of the Caribbean is floating around by. I will link the video for you here and put it in the description box below. Go check that out. Here is my table. I am dining alone. They do have a QR code to get to the menu, but they do have a paper menu which you can ask for if you would like. Let's take a look at the drink menu. For signature drinks, they have the San Angel Inn margarita. They also have a corn old fashioned, and you can order the avocado margarita from La Cava del Tequila, which is over there. I normally love the avocado margarita, but they don't make it fresh anymore. It's just like mixed sitting there. So it's not as good as it was, but it's still very tasty. There's more margaritas. They have the Black Magic, the one created by Neil Patrick Harris, that you can get. You can also get that at La Cava, and you can get, I think, most of these, if not all, at the restaurant across the street as well. They have the El Diablo, though this one I haven't seen, maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it, the La Piñata Margarita, where you get a cloud of cotton candy on top. They also have a skinny margarita, they have cucumber, and then they have, you can get individually or the flight, just like across the street that we got last time, the Classica, the Wild One, and the Blood Orange. They have lots of different types of tequila, and besides the margarita flight, they have tequila flights and mezcal flights. And they do have a selection of mezcal as well, plus wine, beer, and sangria. Here is my cocktail. I decided to go for the cucumber margarita. It's tequila, fresh cucumber and lime, corn whiskey, agave, rhubarb, and the Tajín chili lime powder rim. I feel like I may have had this once before. I think I've had just about every margarita on this list, but it's been so long I barely even remember if I've ever even had it, so let's give it a try. All right, I love this. I definitely had this before, but it's been a long, long time, so it feels very new again. That cucumber flavor is so nice. It's very light. It feels very refreshing. It also pairs really well with lime, which is in margaritas, but then you get that lovely kick from the Tajín. It's not like very spicy. It just gives it like some lovely different flavor combination that like I've never had before, cucumber and Tajín. It's really, really good. Super refreshing on a hot day, and this is really hitting the spot. Cheers. Let's take a look at the menu first. For soups and appetizers, they have a traditional tortilla soup. They have guacamole topped with mango, toasted pumpkin seeds, and served with chicharrones and salsa valentina. They have queso fundido, which is Monterey Jack cheese with chorizo, poblano peppers, onions, and tortillas. They have a totopos con queso, which is corn tortillas with white cheddar cheese and salsa, and tostadas de pollo, which is chipotle chicken with a corn crispy tortilla and chopped romaine lettuce, queso fresco, and crema mexicana. For entrees, we have a pollo a las rajas, a huarache vegetariano, tacos de ribeye, camarones a la diabla, Caesar salad, osabuco, enchiladas, baja tacos, carne asada, gado a la veracruzana. My first appetizer is here. This is the queso fundido, melted Monterey Jack cheese topped with chorizo, poblano peppers and onions, served with flour tortillas. Looks really good, and it came out very hot. Ooh, okay. It is so cheap. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that cheese. Oh my gosh. All right, we gotta get a little bit of everything. So much cheese. Wow. That is so yummy. But like obviously it's literally the whole bottom is just cheese. Wow. This is great. This is a cheese lover's dream. Chorizo is nice and spiced, and you get that nice flavor from the poblano. It's got a little bit of a kick to it because, you know, you have chorizo, pepper, and then it's Monterey Jack cheese, which has a little bit of spice in it. It's not like incredibly spicy, but it, just be aware, it does have a little kick to it. I mean, it's very like simple in the fact that it's like cheese, chorizo, pepper, but like it came out hot. It's in the cast iron. This bowl is deceiving because it's so much cheese. This is an appetizer for for a lot of people. Like yes, 2, maybe even 4. I think it could be depending on how much you're ordering, because there's a lot of cheese here. So, and cheese is very filling, obviously. Oh my gosh! I mean, look, just look at all of this. Now listen, I understand that you're supposed to put it in the tortilla, so I will because that's what you're supposed to do. But personally, I am happy eating it on its own like that. I think it's so good on its own, but I will put it on the tortilla. Oh, actually, I was wrong. Put it on the tortilla. It's better this way because that cheese is so hot and melty that it's like sticking to the tortilla really nice. Then you obviously get that extra tortilla flavor. My only problem really with this dish is that I feel like there needs to be more chorizo, especially if you're sharing with a lot of people. Because like even like for me, it's kind of like mixed in there now, like a little bit here and there. So that's my only really complaint of it, but very, very tasty, and it's just like a cheese lover's dream. Here is my other appetizer. This is the tostadas de pollo. It's crispy corn tortillas topped with beans, chipotle chicken, chopped romaine lettuce, queso fresco, and salsa. How am I supposed to do this? This is going to just be everywhere. There's so much on here. Okay, all covered by lettuce. There's the chicken. Okay, here we go. To start, this is cooked really nice. It's very crunchy, has good flavor, but the chicken really doesn't have any flavor. I'm really not tasting anything. It kind of just tastes like bean and lettuce. I probably would throw on some hot sauce to help it, but even with that, like the chicken is just very plain. It's very boring. Nothing very exciting about this. It just lacks a lot of flavor. I personally wouldn't return to it. It's not like everything's like fresh and everything's like good in that sense. Like, and it's crunchy and the beans are good and whatever, but just there's just no flavor on that chicken at all. So it just feels very, very plain. If you've had this, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, but I wouldn't return to this item. And dudes, if you are enjoying this very honest review, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and hit your bell notification so you don't miss any videos that come to the channel. My entree has arrived. This is the enchiladas de pollo. Corn tortillas filled with chipotle chicken, covered with salsa verde, crema mexicana, cotija cheese, crispy onion straws, and refried beans, and served with plátanos with cotija cheese and crema mexicana. So I ordered this before I got my appetizers, and I almost wish I didn't, because it's probably the same chipotle chicken that we just had in the appetizer I didn't really like. But let's see how this one goes. I'm just very surprised that they don't give hot sauces. All right, let's give it a try. It has the salsa verde on it, so maybe that'll be good. It's definitely better than the appetizer, but it's just so plain. There's like zero flavor on this chicken. Really, the only thing I am tasting is the cheese and the beans, and that's really it. And then the tortilla. Yeah, it's just so flavorless, very bland. It came out very hot, at least, which is good. But unfortunately, it's just not it for me. The restaurant across the street is authentic Mexican. Like, they have another location in Mexico. They are a third-party restaurant. This is a Disney-owned restaurant. And the secret to eating in Disney is to go to those third-party restaurants. They're gonna have the best kind of food. I absolutely loved my experience across the street. I've been avoiding this place because I knew it was more like basic, you know, made for Disney Mexican food. And that first dish was pretty good. This is just very, very, very plain. And that's my biggest complaint when it comes to Disney food, is the lack of seasoning. Especially like when I did the cruise. I did 12 videos on the new Disney Wish cruise. I'll link the playlist for you here and put in the description below. That was my biggest complaint of the entire cruise, is that all of the food was very bland. And that happens a lot at Disney operated restaurants, and that's a big complaint from a lot of people. While there's nothing terribly wrong with this dish, it's just flavorless, and I don't know, there's really nothing going on here. So, but I mean, everything is fresh, everything tastes fine, nothing like that with a problem. I think if you're if you're a newer eater to Mexican food, maybe start here. This is probably where you want to start, where you start learning about different types of food and you can get it more on the plainer side, then upgrade and go over across the street. I think that's kind of how I feel about this, for sure. You know, I finally did it. I finally ate here, and it's kind of like what I expected. I do love me a plátano, so let's try it. I personally don't like the cheese on the plátano, but the actual plantain itself is good. Hard to mess up a plantain, you just grill it, but it's nice and sweet, it's nice and ripe. So that's good. So overall, I mean, listen, we did it. We finally ate in here. It's beautiful in here, and that cheese dish was great. If you've had this enchilada dish, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. But let's start wrapping up this meal. So here is the bill. They did apply my 10% pass holder discount. This is before tip. So yeah, that is a pretty hefty number. And then add on 15 for a tip. It's a big bill for this meal. That is very, very expensive for Mexican food, even for Disney prices, but that's what you get for dining in the pyramid. Well, my dudes, that was the San Angel Inn here in Mexico and Epcot inside of the pyramid. Let's talk about the positives of this restaurant first. One, it's indoors and it's awesome in there with the air conditioning. Second of all, the pyramid is just so beautiful, outside and in. Inside, you're under the stars. It's so beautiful. If you're there with, a romantic partner, it's so romantic. It's just absolutely stunning and feels very immersive. Especially, you have the mariachi players coming in and out of the pyramid, and they sound so amazing, and you have other beautiful Mexican music playing. And if you're lucky, you get to see the Three Caballeros ride float on by. I mean, how cool is that to dine with a Disney attraction? I think that's just so incredibly cool. I think that the first appetizer I had was very fun, very tasty, very cheesy, and if you are a cheese fan, you will absolutely love it. I think if you are new to Mexican food, this is a great introduction to Mexican food. You can try a bunch of different types of food where you may feel like that it's not too overwhelming in spices or big flavors, and you may have a better time at this restaurant maybe than compared to a more authentic Mexican restaurant across the way at La Hacienda. So now let's talk about what I didn't like about this restaurant, and it was basically the fact that I do love Mexican food and I love La Hacienda across the way, and especially since it's right across the way, if I'm gonna choose a place to eat in Mexico, it's going to be there. It's more authentic, the flavor combinations are better. I did love my margarita, but I can get that margarita at La Cava. I can even get it, I think, at La Hacienda. So I don't necessarily have to go to San Angel to get that margarita. I did like that first appetizer, but I also thought that they were pretty chintzy on the chorizo. The ratio was a little off for me. And on top of, the fact that I just felt like everything had a lack of flavor, the price to dine there was a lot. So I just think if I'm going to be eating Mexican food and paying a hefty price, I'd rather pay for it across the way. I don't remember the bill, but I don't know if it was even that much or around the same. And I know I'm going to get better food across the way. But it is beautiful. I'm so glad I finally got to do it. Have you eaten at San Angel Inn? What was your experience like? Let me know in the comments below. And not only helps me, but others planning trips to Epcot in the future. And tell me if you think that I'm wrong. Please go ahead and tell me if you think that I'm wrong about my opinion on the food. Did I get a dish that wasn't a good representation of what this restaurant has to offer? I am willing to listen and to go back and try again. But for now, I think I will stick to La Hacienda and a great fireworks view. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything that goes on this channel. Follow me on Instagram at Magical Hijinx. Check out the Patreon. Become a patron, you'll get exclusive bonus content, bonus lives, help with trip planning, a free dining guide to Walt Disney World by Disney for Foodies, and so much more. And you'll be helping me to continue bring you great content like these dining reviews to this channel. And until next time, my dudes, I hope you guys get to some hijinks very, very soon. Bye-bye.